I don't give a shit about your 1500 SAT score. Eat under 1500 calories a day and then I'll be impressed. If you treat her better than she treats you, she'll get bored. Don't just give her your attention. Make her earn it. She's not your co-pilot. She's your flight attendant.
Live from Philadelphia, your man, Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 426th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of red-pilled truth, wisdom, and awareness. It is Wednesday, March 20th, 2019. Spring is upon us. Devin and I are getting ready for the big move, which is going to happen next weekend. Getting all sorts of deliveries. Got our new mattress today. Got our new rug today. So our apartment is going to be an abject disaster here for the next 10 days or so. Hashtag first world problems. I know you guys don't give a shit. It is what it is. As usual, we are multicasting live to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and of course, the Donovan Sharpe mobile app. So wherever you are, however you are watching or listening, thanks for making the Sharpe reality a part of your day. All right, guys, let's get to it. Females, gentlemen, are expert rationalizers. In the manosphere, we like to call this the rationalization hamster. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the rationalization hamster, it's essentially a woman's excuse that she disguises as a reason or rationale to explain away bad behavior for the sole purpose of avoiding judgment, fault, or accountability. So, for example, if a woman cheats on her boyfriend, she'll say, well, we were gonna break up anyway after he got back from his business trip, so technically it wasn't really cheating. And besides, he cheated on me 2 years ago. Well, how did he cheat? Oh, he was texting back and forth with this girl, and she sent nude pictures, and he sent dick pics and all this other kind of stuff. So he totally cheated. I'm sure he banged her. Well, they do this to make themselves, females do, they do this to make themselves feel better, and like I said earlier, to avoid judgment from their friends if their friends were to find out about their licentious behavior. Some girls even proactively talk about their bad behavior and then hamster the explanation to save face. Again, chicks do this all the time, and they mainly do it when it comes to cheating or engaging in behaviors that could lead to cheating. This is, I mean, listen, they hamster about a lot of things. They rationalize a lot of things. By far and away, cheating and behaviors that lead to cheating are usually the reason. So I was watching this show with Devin a while back called My 600-Pound Life. It's on TLC, and not hard to figure out what it's about. It's about people who are morbidly obese, presumably over 600 pounds. It is fucking disgusting, guys, to see people who can't even get out of bed shoveling crap into their mouths all day. It's nauseating. And you think to yourself, what happens when they take a shit? How do they wipe their ass? How do they take a shower? One guy hadn't left his bed in like 3 months. And I remember when they came to, they had to basically cut out a side of his house to get out of there. And they're getting ready to roll him up on a mattress. He's like, all right, guys, the mattress is dirty. This guy has literally just been just laying there shitting in his mattress for 3 months. That is fucking disgusting. This, of course, is another guilty pleasure of mine. Up there with The Bachelor, as you guys all well know. And, of course, Maury Povich. Listen, I love the paternity tests, guys. And listen, I know watching the Maury Povich show, low educational programming, makes me dumber, but I can't stay away, guys. We all love Trainwreck TV, whether we admit it or not. And if there is ever any doubt in your mind as to whether or not you are watching low educational programming, all you got to do is watch the commercials. Have you been injured in a car accident? Computer school, become a nail tech, learn how to do hair. 800 I need cash now, JG Wentworth, etc., etc. Freelance Ronan says, you are not the father. I love it when he's not the father and the guy starts breaking it down on stage and the girl's like, ah. But I digress. Anyway, there is something that these fatties do on that television show that fat girls in the real world also do. This is what they have in common, and I'm going to tell you guys what that is right after the break. We'll be right back.
The Donovan Sharpe mobile app is finally here. You can schedule and pay for consultations, buy TSR merchandise, read Donovan's books, make donations, and much more. And you can do it all right from the app. The Donovan Sharpe mobile app is available to only. You won't find it at the App Store, the Google Play Store, or anywhere else. Get your hands on the first and only mobile app in Manosphere history. Download the Donovan Sharpe mobile app today.
Get your official TSR gear at the Donovan Sharpe merchandise store. T-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, and much more. New styles and items are added every month. You can look good and support the show by repping TSR Towers. Go to donovansharpe.com/merch, or you can buy TSR gear right from the Donovan Sharpe mobile app.
I ain't gonna lie, but baby girl bad. She got that melanin skin. She got that melanin skin. She got that melanin skin. I ain't finna lie, but baby girl fine. She got some melanin.
Welcome back to the 426th edition of TSR Live on a Wednesday. Good to have you guys in today. Follow, add, and like me on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Donovan Sharpe on either platform. If you have the Donovan Sharpe mobile app, be sure to add me on Instadon. I'm actually in Facebook jail on my main Donovan Sharpe Facebook page. Of course, I shamed a sloppily fat woman, and of course, you know how they take revenge. They go and they report you, so that's what I'm going through. So just look for Donovan Sharpe 2, Donovan Sharpe Roman numeral 2, or Donovan Sharpe capital I, and you will find my alternate Facebook page. Guys, be sure to subscribe to my monthly newsletter to stay in the know on all things Donovan Sharpe. Being on my email list also comes in handy in the event that I get deplatformed here or anywhere else. Again, I'm not going to fill your inbox full of crap, guys, so don't worry about that. But if you don't want to miss out on anything, subscribe to the monthly newsletter on donovansharpe.com. Just scroll to the bottom of the page, plug in your email address, and you're good to go. Literally takes like, I don't know, second and a half or so. If you'd like your music featured on the show, send me a few tracks, guys. Make sure you include your stage name, the names of your tracks, your label, and where your music can be found. Guys, be sure to tune into TSR Primetime, which starts at 5:30 today, which is in just over 20 minutes. I'm actually going to do another freebie today. I'm going to put the link, I'm going to put the private link in the chat toward the end of the show so that you guys can come on over and listen to TSR Primetime. This is the last time I'm going to do it for a while. I'll probably do these crossover episodes probably once a month, twice a month at the very most. But it went over well yesterday. We had a lot of guys who watched TSR Live who then subscribed to my Patreon after that. And so I feel like that's a very effective way to kind of show people, hey, this is what you're going to get when you become a patron of Donovan Sharpe. So I'm going to do that one more time today. And then it's going to be a while before I do that again. Probably won't be right around until the end of April. So be sure to stay tuned for that. I'm gonna put that link in the chat toward the end of the show. All right, let us check the chat here. Let's go to the Donovan Sharpe mobile app side first. I don't know why my mouse isn't working here. Give me a second. Oh, okay, there's really nothing to scroll. All right. RX Godly says he is here. I've never seen you before. So welcome, the Donovan Sharpe mobile app. Charles Caballero, one of the TSR jurors, says, nothing would make me happier than to have Blog Talk Radio back. I can talk about this at length. Yeah, I am currently working on getting the Blog Talk Radio issues resolved. I'm probably going to have that resolved probably sometime next week. I'm also thinking about doing a 100% call-in show once a week. I don't know how far. I don't know. I'll probably talk about a few different topics, like maybe this week in the Manosphere, and then just kind of open up the phone lines and we'll kind of just shoot the shit and do it like that. But yeah, Charles, Blog Talk Radio will most assuredly be back. Swade Senator is in the house, says this episode is going to be legendary. I can feel it. Probably got 18 thumbs down already. I don't know. Like the video, guys. I'd appreciate that. Mike Shinnery says the title got me dying. It's funny. Mr. Jackson, welcome to the towers. Dennis in Denver says, in my experience, most of fat girls have low self-esteem. When I started to cold approach in nightclubs, I used them for warm-ups. They would often get offended by my humor. Yeah, listen, fat girls are easy targets. They really are. They act like they're God's gift to men, but they know they're not. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's go to the YouTube side. Say what's going on. Red Jedi is the first in. Swade Senator double dipping. James Martinez is in the house. V-Coast. Mr. Mink. Kevin Ibanez. Jeeg75 says they have that smell. Oh, no. Don't even get me started, man. Mike Shinnery, once again, double dipping, says that title, though. Kemi Smokebender is in the house. Good to see you in here after a while. It's been a while since I've seen you. Sharpe Assist says the audio is a little bit lower than usual. How do I sound on the audio? Do I sound normal, or does Sharpe Assist need to turn up his phone? Guys, let me know in the chat if I'm good to go on audio. Wizard Praying says fat girls are easier targets because they're hard to miss. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, this is great. John Doe says the fat girl with curves act high value and can be stuck up. Yeah, like those Facebook girls who they have these little Facebook exposés about them. Like, this is a girl with a 60-inch booty, but she's fat. And the only reason why she doesn't look fat is because her ass is so much larger than the rest of her. It's ridiculous. It's disgusting. Spray Your Face wants to know what a TradCon is. That's my man Harry Dub, H Dub, in the house. Yeah, TradCon is a traditional conservative. These are people that believe that things should go back to the 1950s. And listen, things are never going to go back to the 1950s because it's 2019. But TradCon seem to be married to the idea that we need to put ourselves into a time machine and go back to the days of Ozzie and Harriet, Donna Reed, Ward and June Cleaver, things of that nature. And they're TradCons are very anti-red pill because they don't want to acknowledge hard truth. See, TradCons believe that most women also want to go back to tradition. Unfortunately for TradCons, they always find this out the hard way. So that's what a TradCon is. Little red pill 101 there. Rolo Tomasi could probably explain it a little bit better, but that's the best that I can do. Mr. Mink says, Donovan, did Devin get the keys early? Yes, she did. Devin got the keys early, but it wasn't because she flirted with the apartment guy. She was very uncomfortable with doing that, and I told her, listen, man, shake what your mama gave you. But I had to step in and get that done today. So no big deal, no big deal. Kevin Ibanez wants to know, will the studio design change in my new spot? Yes, it is. The only thing I'm going to tell you guys, the only thing that's going to be the same is the brick background. And even the brick background, it's going to be a different looking brick pattern. My new studio, guys, we're talking, oh my goodness, dude, we're talking a multi-screen display. It's I can't wait. It's going to that's why I'm taking a week off, because it's going to take me about a week to build. I've actually got to do some I've got to go to Lowe's or Home Depot. I'm going to custom build an apparatus for my multi-screen display. So I'm looking forward to do that. I'm looking forward to doing that. I like working with my hands. Very handy in that way. So I'm looking forward to that. Good question there. KI. Lando Calrissian, the resident Stormy Daniels obsessor, even though Stormy is way past the wall, aka Blaster, aka Lando Calrissian. Very good. Royce J is in the towers. Good to see you. Good stuff. Fernando Trejo likes what he hears. Chaz. Hang on a second. Oh, wow. You guys are active. Oh, boy. Let me see. Wow. Holy smokes. You guys are really active. I try to get to all of it. Okay. So Chaz says, great point about the commercials, about the TV commercials. Yeah. Listen, you're watching low educational programming when it's, some sort of education. Nail tech, hair tech. Have you been hurt in a car accident? JG Wentworth, 877 cash now. Those kind of commercials. Basically, how to get money fast. Bunch of get rich quick schemes, legally or otherwise. I'm only half kidding. Yo, Mismo is in the house. Good to see you. Says, hey, my girl is an ex-fat girl. She went from 80 kilos to 63 kilos, and now she looks great. Should I be worried about it? No, you shouldn't be. Because if she went from, and I don't know, I'm an American, so, we're on this retarded imperial system. But yeah, I think that's roughly 45, 50 pounds, I think. It's a difference of 27 kilos she lost? My math? No, 17 kilos she lost, so that's roughly 34, 35 pounds, I think. Something like that. No, you shouldn't be worried. Just make sure she stays on that. Chaz wants to know, do you have a producer or do you wing this thing all by yourself? Yeah, the answer is B. I do this all by myself. Everything you see, the graphics, the music, the intro, like all of it. I have built this podcast literally from the ground up. I have had absolutely zero help, and that is going to change. I'm going to hire someone to handle some of the ancillary things that I'm doing so I can have more time to produce more and better content. But yeah, everything you guys see, I do this 100% solo. There is nobody. The only person that really helps me is Sharpe Assist. And occasionally Devin. She'll go in and update my website because that's what she does. But yeah, day in, day out, all the operations done by yours truly. Chaz also says, impressive to manage the talking, the tech, and the chat all at the same time. Yes, sir. This is why I am the official host of the Redman Group. Because I'm really, really good. Really good. Royce J says, I don't know if I like Blog Talk Radio. I just use Blog Talk Radio to take phone calls. That's about it. The True Light says, how do I re-download the app, Donovan? If you want to re-download the app, uninstall it, and then go to donovansharpe.com and download it from there. Guys, if you have any questions about the app or Patreon, I'm not going to do tech support on the air. That's the first time I've ever seen the True Light ask anything like that. This is TSR Live, not TSR Tech Support. So if you have a question about something that needs to happen on the app, if you're having problems or whatever, TSR@donovansharpe.com. I'll answer all the questions you need. Okay, so everybody says that the audio is good to go. Tradcons are stuck in the Matrix. Absolutely. Donald Bender says he just became a Patreon member. Appreciate that. All right. Iman Perry says, women, just men to go back to the Bays of the 50. That didn't make any sense. Got to speak in complete sentences, guys. Complete sentences, please. Roastmaster 1. Welcome to the towers. I don't think you've seen. Okay, so the conversion is 2.2 pounds per kilo. So 17 times 2 is 34. 34 times 0.2 is 6.8. So 34 plus 6.8, 34. So she lost over 40 pounds. Okay, good for her. Big Dog says that I missed the point. What all fat women have in common? No, Big Dog. I'm about to get to that right now, which leads me to that seamless segue. So before the break, I told you guys that there is something that obese females on My 600-Pound Life have in common with what most fat girls do on the regular in the real world. And it's not hard to figure out what this is, guys. And it's something all fat girls have in common, and I mean all of them. And that is that they make excuses. Now, I discussed this a couple of episodes before. The difference between an excuse and a reason is that an excuse is something you have control over. A reason is something you do not. So, for example, Donovan, why are you late for work? Well, my alarm didn't go off. The sun didn't come up. Something stupid, some excuse. My alarm didn't go off. That's an excuse. I had control over the alarm. A reason is, Donovan, why didn't you come to work? Why are you not at work? Well, because I got T-boned at the corner of Tropicana and Rainbow Road, and I'm in a body cast at Spring Valley Med in North Las Vegas. And, right, listen, I didn't have control over getting T-boned. You guys understand that, right? Females know that the number one prerequisite of being sexually attractive to men of value, let's make that distinction here, because we got a lot of fat women out there. Well, men check for me all the time. Okay, I'm sure they do, but they're not men of value. These are low-value men. I'm a high-value male. I'm not checking for fat women. I'm just not. So miss me with that fallacy. But they know that's the number one prerequisite. If they want to be sexually attractive to any man who has his shit together, that's it. And not being fat is something females could do quite easily, because the human body is an amazing thing. All a female has to do is to not eat junk food, and she won't be fat. She doesn't have to work out. She doesn't have to run 5 miles a day. She doesn't have to lift weights or train hard. All she has to do is not eat junk. Eat 2,000 clean calories. You don't even have to eat 2,000 clean calories a day. Eat 1,750 clean calories a day and cheat with 250 calories a day, and you're golden. Eat clean and then have a Snickers bar. You're good. You're going to stay thin. No, females don't have to be rail thin. And miss me again with that fallacy. You guys just want little twiglets. Yes, there are females out there who carry a little extra body weight, but they still look good. Maybe her thighs are just a little thicker because of genetics, okay? And maybe her stomach isn't as flat as a board. But as long as her thighs don't have cottage cheese and her belly doesn't hang over her belt along with her sloppy love handles and the rest of her body isn't fat, she's still bangable. And you can always tighten that up by going to the gym. And by the way, it's not even about the weight, guys. Devin weighs about 145 pounds, probably a little bit more, but she's very dense. She also has a lot of muscle, and she's 5'6", so she's taller than most females. So she carries her weight very well, obviously. Those of you on the TSR primetime side will see how well she carries her weight. But also, listen, she works out 3 times a week with a personal trainer and is on HGH. That's how she maintains her body. Oh, by the way, unfortunately, most chicks in this country are grossly overweight to the tune of 67%. Guys, that is 2 out of 3 women in this country that are not bangable by men of value. Dude, no wonder men of value are having a hard time finding women. As I put the link for TSR Primetime in the chat, I'll be putting that in there periodically. And what makes their obesity really bad is that fatties are becoming even more entitled. They walk around like they're God's gift to men when actually they're really God's gift to fast food restaurants. Right? But even worse than that are the excuses they make to stay fat. And this is exactly what every single solitary, sloppy, fat human being masquerading as a woman has in common. Excuses. It's never their fault they weigh 237 pounds. It's never their fault they have to buy bigger clothes every few months. It's never their fault that they sometimes have to buy more than one seat on a plane. Oh my God, he made me buy more than one seat on the plane. Bitch, you can't fit in the seat. Like what did he expect? Like, what are you going to do? How are you going to fit in the seat? It's never their fault that men of value don't want to sleep with or date them. There are dozens and dozens of lame-ass excuses that these females make on the regular for being fat. And I'm going to point out the 7 they use the most at the bottom of the hour on TSR primetime, which starts at 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific. And fellas, don't think that this doesn't apply to you too, by the way. If you're a fat ass, gentlemen, I can promise you, you've used some of these excuses that I am going to talk about today on TSR primetime. Don't think for 1 minute I'm letting your fat asses off the hook here either. Oh, no. Listen, I used to be a fat ass myself, and I got tired of being a fat ass, so I decided not to be a fat ass, and now I'm no longer a fat ass. If you want to tune in, go to donovansharpe.com, click on the link at the top of the page, or if you're in the chat, you just click on the link that I'm putting in the chat, and you will be able to seamlessly transition over to TSR primetime. This is the last time I'm going to do this for a while. All right, let's go back to the chat here. Jose on the on the Donovan Sharpe mobile app side says, I love the phrase in the back about the wall, very relevant. Yeah, of course. Wizard Praying says they want a donut more than they want a husband. Dennis in Denver says the quote best part about being fat-fished from Tinder is hearing a fat girl on a date talk about how she eats twice per day and works out 3 times a week. Dude, every fat girl swears up and down, I work out, and listen, I don't want to give away some of these excuses, but it is absolutely pathetic. Jose also says they say I'm big boned. Oh, that's a good one. I love that. Wizard Praying says they have 27 symptoms for fat. Mike Shinnery says, question, what do you think about LTRs getting fat in their 40s? You're going to have to clarify that for me because I don't really understand what you're asking. It seems like an obvious answer. I just want to make sure you clarify so that I can make sure that I'm understanding this question correctly. Let's go back to the YouTube side. Again, guys, I am putting the link to TSR Primetime in the chat. So if you want to watch the rest, if you want to watch TSR Primetime, which is definitely not YouTube friendly, click that link, get on over in there. Freelance Ernest says, Lowell Stanley, ambulance chasing. Yeah, there's always, a few lawyers that are ambulance chasers. Hey, listen, man, ambulance chasing is, it's a very lucrative proposition. Mark Gordon, who just became a patron today. Shout out to you, my friend. All right. Sweet Senator says there are so many women at my job who are fat. Listen, there are so many women who are fat, period. I mean, seriously, dude, 2 out of 3 women are overweight. That's sad. John Doe again says fat girls with curves act high value. I think I read that before. Fernando Trejo says, what about the fat chicks who come thin or hot by surgery? Is that a topic for another day? No. Listen, if a girl has nice tits, okay, great. But if I learn that they're fake tits, I'm not going to say, oh, no, I'm not attracted to you anymore because you have fake tits. No, I'm still going to bang her. Listen, I don't care how you got there. I just care that you're there. Right? Listen, if Devin weren't 35 years old, if she were 25, yeah, I probably wouldn't have hired a personal trainer for her and paid that personal trainer in excess of $900 a month and spend in excess of $600 per month on HGH because at that point she probably didn't need it. I probably go to the gym with her maybe twice a week, but she's 35. She's not 25. And so this is necessary. James Martinez says, girls are not fat, they thick. That's great. James Martinez says men love BBWs. Correction. Low value men love BBWs. That's going to do it for this edition of TSR Live. If you want to watch TSR Primetime, click that link below. I will see you guys on the other side.
I ain't gonna lie, but baby girl bad. She got that melanin skin. She got that melanin skin. She got that melanin skin. I ain't finna lie, but baby girl fine. She got some melanin in her. Yeah, she got that melanin in her. She got that melanin skin. For all the ladies with melanin that's comfortable in their element. You a natural baby, that's evident. All the shade they throw your way is irrelevant. That shade you rock can be like medicine. Always on point, I respect your regimen. But you was bred to win, so you don't really gotta try. Other bitches style jack and wonder why. Cause they wanna be like you. They be buying booty that you grew natural. Or they be trying to tan so they look like you. Trying to keep a man so they cook like you. Light skinned, dark skinned, it don't even matter cause they both fine skinned.